Okay, hey, Bart with Bicycle Rider YouTube. Today is June 27, 2024. Very special day because this is the world debut of the new Madone Gen 8. So, you know, the Madone Gen 7 was a fantastic bike, aerodynamic capability, super fast. But they have bested that bike now with a Gen 8 Madone. So I'm holding it in my hand. You can see it's very light. We weighed this bike earlier. This bike coming out of the box about 19 pounds. And of course, this is the SL6 model with the new 105 Di2. So this bike is coming in at a very respective $5,500. And for $5,500, you are getting a world-class super bike. Of course, there's levels up and levels down. But this is the SL, so this is the OCLV 500 carbon. But what they have done is created some tube shapes that are just as aerodynamic as the legendary Gen 7, but with a lighter capability. So it's lightweight like the Amanda. So they blended the Amanda and the Madone and came up with a super bike here. So with the ISOFlow technology that they have here, not only is it aerodynamic, but it also is compliant. So you get a fast bike that can climb and also rides really, really good. So as a Trek dealer, I've had this bike in my hands for a little while now. Secretly, I've been riding it. I haven't been able to show up to the group rides with it. I haven't been able to show this off to my friends. I kept my word to Trek, and I haven't said anything or taken any pictures of this bike until today. But I've ridden this bike. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm in Biloxi, Mississippi. We're right off the back bay where we get a lot of crosswinds. So I put this bike in a crosswind situation. It's fast as heck. This has got the Alios 35mm carbon wheel set, and it's fast in a straight line, but in the crosswinds, it's still not pushing me around. With 28mm tires, it rides really good with this ISO speed. So I can't say enough good about this bike. I'm not going to go through all the specs of this bike because I think right now people are more interested in what the Gen 8 is and how it feels. So of course, we're out of the RSL bottles already. So the RSL bottles make this a very big aerodynamic foil. Without the RSL bottles, it's not quite as aerodynamic, but believe me, I can feel the difference when I'm riding this bike compared to many of the other bikes in my shop. And I am an IBD, independent bike dealer, so I sell a lot of different brands, do a lot of road biking. And when I get on this bike, it just feels phenomenally fast. I do like the new handlebar setup they have with a 3-degree sweep. So when I'm down in my drops, I have a lot of control. But when I'm up here in my hoods, I'm very aerodynamic. And with this flatter surface that they have here, it's a little bit wider than last year's, but it does protect the complete body. So when the air is going over the handlebars, it's getting busted up and it's not hitting your knees as bad. So they've done a lot to engineer this bike to be just as aerodynamic, but with the new carbon layup, it's lighter. So as the Amanda used to climb really good, and the Madone was really fast in a straight line, they've blended this, but what people aren't talking about is the ride quality. Probably because a lot of people haven't had a chance to ride it. I've ridden this bike, I've ridden it in a rough roads condition. Here in Biloxi, Mississippi, it's not perfect paved surface, so we are riding on rougher roads. And at 54 years old, I need a little compliance in my ride. This bike gives me that compliance. So it's one of those bikes that I can work all day in the bike shop. I'm hot and sweaty, and I could go ride this bike and still feel really good doing it. So there's a lot to this bike, much, much more to come. But since this bike debuted today, I want to give you an idea just how aerodynamic it is. There's a lot of good aero bikes out on the market, but a lot of those bikes ride like a rock. We're out of the Flintstones age. We're into the modern age here, 2024. This bike rides like a dream. So if you want a good riding bike, shoot, if you want a good looking bike, this is my size. So I'm 5'9". Of course, you know, they changed the sizing on this. There's only 6 sizes now, but the 6 sizes actually incorporate a wider range of riders. So you can get this up to a 7-foot rider on these bikes. Not on a size medium, you need an extra large for that one. But at 5'9", the medium large fits me perfect. Medium large is in between a 54 and 56 centimeters. So if you have a local Trek dealer, definitely support your local Trek dealer. If you're anywhere around the Mississippi Gulf Coast or the Mississippi Gulf Coast at all, I have a few of these in stock. They're not going to last very long and they're in limited quantities, but it's a fantastic bike. If you want to know how this bike rides, I'm very accessible. You can hit me up at Biloxi Bicycle Works. That's my little bicycle shop. My name is Bart Luther, aka the Bicycle Rider on YouTube. I'm very accessible and a real person. So I'm getting ready to go take a walk on the beach with my girlfriend, but more on the Madone Gen 8 to come. This one's in the plasma. I mean, you don't buy a bike for looks, but it is really not just, branded up with a brand. It's a pretty bike. It looks good. It rides good. And with this tube shape here, this bottom bracket is super, super stiff. And when the bottle's in front of it, it keeps it all aerodynamic. So Trek's knocked it out of the park with this bike. This is going to be a super bike to rival anything on the market. And at this price point, you can't beat it. So, hey, well, I got a couple of these in stock. Call me up about them. I might just take this one for myself.